Welcome guys to another edition of News Bytes, where I give you tech news and product releases all wrapped up in about 5 minutes or so. So the big news this week, the big news item was AMD's presentation of the new RX 6000 GPU range. I'm not sure whether you watched it. I certainly did. Quite interesting what they had to say. The new range starts with the RX 6800 XT, which is, spec-wise, it's just a huge card that features 16 gig of GDDR6 memory, 72 compute units, base clock of 2015 megahertz, and a boostable clock of 2250 megahertz. All this, and it's less power hungry than an RTX 3080 as well, so it's only going to need 300 watts, which is good to see. So the little brother to this, I guess, is the RX 6800. This has got the same 16 gig of GDDR6 memory, but the compute units drops down to 60, and also you get a reduction in the base and boost clocks of 1815 and 2105 megahertz, respectively. Really there. AMD's own benchmarks on this, quite interesting. They position the 6800 XT as a direct competitor to the RTX 3080. So, and the RX 6800 is compared to strangely the RTX 2080 Ti. I guess without the 3070 being available just yet, they've not really been able to compare that. But AMD is confident that its cards can either match or better the competition in the majority of cases. However, there were some instances where NVIDIA's cards were ahead just a little bit. So finally, there's the RX 6900 XT, which is AMD's answer to the huge RTX 3090. It's got the same 16 gig of GDDR6 memory, as well as the base and boost clock speeds of the 6800 XT, but increases the total compute units to 80, so a bit of a bump there. So I think this is going to be comparable, if not slightly better, than the RTX 3090. I guess when it's fully released and everything, we can see what the reviews are coming out like that. I think one thing to note with all of these cards, though, is that even though they come equipped with 16 gig of memory, it's GDDR6 rather than 6X, which is what you find on the RTX 3080 and the 3090. And like for like, you could say that this is a little bit of a concern, really. Certainly, if you're pitching these top-end cards, but AMD hopes to solve this difference really with kind of similar technology to what's in its Ryzen processors by using the Infinity Cache technology. So the aim here is to massively cut down memory latency. I guess we'll just have to wait and see when the cards are officially released. In terms of releases, the 6800 XT launches on November the 18th for $649, whilst the 6800 will retail for $579, and it launches on the same day as well. So that's really good. If you're not really wanting the more expensive card. The flagship, the 6900 XT, launches on December the 5th for just shy of $1,000. So it's $999. So that was AMD's big announcement. In the green team, the early reviews are starting to come in for the RTX 3070, and I have to say, they're looking pretty good, with very good performance benchmarks for the money, basically. I think the card, also being smaller overall in its dimensions, is going to appeal more to people. It's certainly going to fit in a lot more cases that are on the market, or your existing system. So I think that's probably going to be, for the majority of people, the sweet spot card, really. In terms of pricing, though, I've had a quick look at some of the main UK retailers, and obviously, some of the US ones as well. And in terms of the UK, there was only really one retailer that I could find that had any kind of indication of pricing for the 3070. And the equivalent card in the US has a current retail price of $550. But in the UK, this card was priced at £550, and some alternatives were all the way up to £650, which is, once again, it's looking like UK consumers are going to get completely ripped off here and end up paying over the odds for these cards. It's still a good card for the money. You're getting basically an RTX 2080 for half the money. So. I suppose we mustn't grumble. In other news, AMD and Intel both announced their 2020 Q3 financial results, and AMD has had an absolutely fantastic quarter by the looks of things, with a year-on-year revenue increase of 56%, this mainly being down to their EPYC and Ryzen processors. Intel, on the other hand, posted just a 1% year-on-year increase in their client computing group, and this revenue was ahead of expectations apparently, mainly due to increased laptop sales, which driven by the global pandemic and presumably everybody needing to work from home. What I think this does show, though, is that AMD really is kicking it to Intel right now, and as I mentioned in my last news update, really, if Intel doesn't pull something amazing out of the bag soon, then I really do think they're going to suffer at the hands of AMD going forward. If you're a gamer, then you may well at some point in your lifetime experience Uplay. Well, Ubisoft is now retiring that and launching Ubisoft Connect. So this is their vision, really, of an integrated cross-platform functionality all under one ecosystem type of thing. At the outset, the press release does make it sound like it's going to be a bit limited, though, to things like rewards earned in games and stuff like that, and the same kind of stuff you've probably got on Uplay before, wallpapers and stuff like that. But ultimately, Ubisoft talk about being able to have cross-platform progression in games. So I think that's that's pretty good. That I must admit, on the odd couple of occasions that I've needed to use Uplay, I thought it was generally okay. So it'd be interesting to see what Connect is like, and certainly if you play across multiple platforms, then this could get quite interesting, I think, and may well drive other developers to do the same thing. Tying in nicely into that last point about gaming, so Corsair have their new HS60 Haptic gaming headset, kind of like the core of this new headset. They've got some innovative bass from Taction technology. Basically it enhances low-end frequencies using tactile feedback. This enables users to perceive sounds when gaming that apparently other headsets seem to miss. So you'll hear deep low rumbles of explosions or reverberating hum of nearby guns and machinery and stuff like that, and giving you a more rich and engaging experience. So the headset's going to deliver superb sound quality with a fully detachable noise cancelling unidirectional microphone, so you've got real quality vocal clarity there, and it'd be interesting to see what they're like. If I can imagine these are going to be pretty awesome on something like one of the Battlefield games, when you're right in the middle of the action there. They're going to be priced at £119. So if they sound and feel as good as the press release made them out to be, then I think this is got to be something that's on every gamer's Christmas list, to be honest. Anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comments down below if you've got any questions, and please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again soon. So bye for now.